AskReddit. What conspiracy theories turned out to be true? Governments and corporations are actually spying on us. My father, who I previously thought was insane, was convinced the meds the military used to prevent malaria cause serious and permanent behavioral health issues. 30 years later, I was prescribed a different malaria med as a preventative before a trip, and I jokingly mentioned my father's theory to the doc. Mefloquine? Yeah, that's actually true. That's why we switched to this one. Watergate, it started out as a conspiracy theory, but gained enough evidence to turn into the scandal that we all know today. You know the whole birds aren't real conspiracy theory? Well, it's funny because there was a thing in the 1960s called Project Acoustic Kitty https://n.wikipedia.org/wiki/acoustic_kitty, where the CIA wanted to put microphones and transmitters inside of cats and use them to spy on the Soviets. It cost about $20 million and was a huge failure, and allegedly the first cat they wired was hit by a car and killed very soon after they let it go. Now, I'm not saying that birds are being used to spy on us, but it's crazy to think that the government did actually try something like that. The global elitist pedophile ring. The government is listening to your phone calls and reading personal messages. Operation Northwoods. The Joint Chiefs of Staff drew up and approved plans to create terrorist acts on U.S. soil to drum up support for a war and invasion of Cuba in the 1960s. President Kennedy rejected the plan, which included innocent Americans being shot dead on the streets, boats carrying refugees fleeing Cuba to be sunk on the high seas, a wave of violent terrorism to be launched in Washington, D.C., Miami, and elsewhere, people being framed for bombings they did not commit, and planes being hijacked. The CIA funding drug smuggling and dealing. /r/actual conspiracies. I lived in Oregon in the 70s and 80s. Everyone always talked about how the Evergreen Airport was used by the CIA, but they always denied it. The truth finally came out and the airport ended up closing afterwards. https://n.wikipedia.org/wiki/evergreen_international_airlines. Systematic pedophilia in the Catholic Church. It was an open secret that for whatever reason was suppressed by the church, its members and even its victims. Drug money is used to rig elections and train brutal, corporate-sponsored dictators around the world. MKUltra. The CIA performing mind control experiments on American citizens. Project MKUltra. Basically the government was experimenting on people. It is super fucked up. Link https://n.m.wikipedia.org/wiki/project_MKUltra. Ernest Hemingway believed he was being followed by the FBI. It was passed off as paranoid delusions by the medical community and the world at large, and was allegedly a major contributing factor to a suicide. But the Freedom of Information Act revealed that Hemingway was an amateur agent in Cuba during the war, but also seen as a potential communist sympathizer by the FBI, who did later follow him. It played a major role in his suicide, though obviously there were many other factors. MKUltra. Dunno if it would count or if it was known but just not widely known. But planned obsolescence by mobile phone companies. People suspected their phones were being slowed down on purpose when a new phone arrived. Changed companies to companies. Bookmarking this because I'm super fascinated by conspiracies, but was very disappointed when I went to r/conspiracy or whatever and all of the top threads were about Hillary/Trump/corrupt politician.jpg. Corporations, particularly big oil, are behind climate change denialism. Burger King had foot lettuce. The round earth conspiracy. The flat earthers are trying to hide the truth. NSA, am I right? Bohemian Grove, the Jeffrey Epstein Island stuff. Alex Jones might be a nut but he's turned out to be right with some big stuff. Friend made up theory that I was bisexual, before I even knew I was bisexual. Shit, he was right, Lamau. Oh, this one's nice. So conspiracy theories are of many types. For example, some people believe that CIA had a heart attack gun, which apparently turned out to be true. This is what I believe you mean to convey, i.e. ramblings of some people. However, other theories like the US performing false acts of terror to start wars, which also apparently have happened, were actually very informed hypothesizes made by very smart people. Lastly, the planning/idea of any founding people of any country is also conspiracy planning/theory. Kawhi did want to go to the Clippers. CIA remote viewing to see into the history of planet Mars. All FIFA World Cups were purchased from 1998 through 2014. When I know that in 2002, I heard about who would win each year. And it happened. Edit, the phrase was really horrible. All the winning countries were already chosen in 1998. It doesn't have a reliable source. And a theory with nothing to prove true. South Korea's 2002 team wins were also bought. Andreas Escobar's 1994 own goal for Colombia got him killed. They say either the match was fixed or someone very big and powerful bet a certain way. And he ruined it for them. I don't buy the shot because of national pride nonsense. Watergate certainly comes to mind. Operation PB success. The U.S. started a Guatemalan coup d'etat of a democratically elected leader to protect corporations. They then stay Operation PB history to fabricate a false narrative of the Soviets being involved. U.S. government still intervenes daily in global affairs to protect financial interests of corporations. Which is why there are so many terrorist groups that hate the U.S. And the U.S. created all of these refugees they're trying to keep out. The argument of stay and fix your country doesn't really work when the U.S. sends troops in to reinstate power after you overthrow a tyrant. The government was listening to us. I mean, just a decade or so ago you were called a tinfoil hat enthusiast if you said the government is listening to your BlackBerry. Fast and Furious. The ATF, supplying firearms https://n.wikipedia.org/wiki_ATF_gunwalking_scandal, to Mexican drug cartels. The business plot, the 1930s robber barons, attempted a violent overthrow of FDR's government https://n.wikipedia.org/wiki/business_plot, with the intention of installing fascism. Smedley Butler, the man they had hoped would lead their coup, exposed them, making them look ridiculous and leading to a cover-up, but nonetheless rendering the plot a failure. They destroyed his career, which never recovered, and he died in obscurity in Westchester, Pennsylvania. There's a good chance that we would have seen a fascist/Nazi takeover of the country had one man not sacrificed his career to prevent it. Despite his heroism, few people today know his name. The war on drugs was an excuse to lock up leftists and black people to prevent them from voting. The world being round kinda started out as a conspiracy theory, right? No. The world being round was known by practically every ancient astronomer. The flat earth theory was just a weird tangent in the Middle Ages. That there was a pedophile connected with the royal family. Catholic priests raping the nuns. The non-existence of Earth. The CIA uses vaccines as an excuse to conduct espionage in third world countries. Pakistan and Afghanistan are the only two countries where polio hasn't been eradicated. Post-9/11 conspiracies were ripe that polio and other vaccine workers were just CIA spies collecting data on the citizens they'd bomb. The locals would resist taking the vaccines out of fear. Cue the killing of Osama bin Laden and the confession of Dr. Shakil Afridi that his hepatitis vaccine drive was a front for the CIA to collect DNA samples of Osama.